Hello there and a very warm welcome to another edition of Channels Beam. I am Victor Matthias. Now, one of the key statements made during the presidential elections in 2015 by the Buhari campaign team was the retired general's military background, which will be brought to play to keep the country safe. However, 3 years into the administration, security threats have continued to disrupt the peace of the country, leading the legislative arm of the government to summon security chiefs at intervals to explain what could be done to stem the tide of these security risks. With herdsmen attacks, kidnapping, and terrorist attacks still ongoing, one wonders when this will end. And that will be our focus on the program today. But let's take first the trends in the past week.
Residents of Kaduna trooped out in their numbers to vote those who will lead them at the grassroots. The much-touted electronic voting was also tested. It was all about mothers as people took to their accounts to celebrate mothers around the world for their various reasons.
Well, there you go. Those were the trends in the past week, but one of the hashtags that also made the trends is insecurity. And joining us today to look at this very contentious issue, we have Leo Kikio, who joins us in the studio. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here again.
Of course. And we also have, joining us via the Google Plus Hangout, we have Muamiya Yusuf, who joins us from Mina in Niger State. Muamiya, it's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
We also have Anekeme Finba, who joins us from Uyo in Akwa Ibom State. Anekeme, it's a pleasure to have you as well joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely exciting to join you here this afternoon. And of course, we also say hi to Nigerians.
Thank you very much. And then we have Henry Nwanzwaru, who joins us from Abuja. I hope I got that pronunciation correct. I beg your pardon, Henry. But thank you for joining us from Abuja.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, viewers.
Very well, thank you. So let me just get on to you, Leo, kickstart this conversation for us. There's been a lot going on in the country, and people have always said that when things go wrong, it is always to be put at the president's table. I mean, insecurity has been quite one of those things that has been going on in the country. Killings in particular places, most recently Bruningwari in Kaduna State, Benue, and what exactly is going on? I mean, what measures have been put in place to stem this tide?
Victor, thank you very much for the question. I must say that it's quite interesting that a lot of people have been putting the blame on Mr. President. True, like you said, the buck always stops at Mr. President's table. But the truth is, every country has its own challenges. In the US today, they are battling terrorism. They are constantly living in fear of foreigners coming to bomb them, like it happened in September of 2001. And of course, same thing in Paris, London, and all over the world. Insecurity has been the challenge across the world, and Nigeria is experiencing its own share of the entire thing. But what I can tell you is this, that Nigerians voted President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 to basically secure their lives and property and ensure their welfare.
Amongst other things.
Yeah, amongst other things. And I can tell you that's what the president is doing. The truth is there's no president, or rather there's no leader on the face of this earth that will be happy that his people have been slaughtered. But much more than that, the people, the security is rising up, the security apparatus is rising up to challenges. People are being arrested every day in, day out. So I mean, the leadership of this country has a lead on the problem.
Just hold on, we'll get back to you on that. But Anekeme, let me come back to you now. Do you think the leadership of the country has a lead on the problem, as Mileo is alleging?
I think first and foremost, Victor, we must understand the power that resides in the office of the president. According to Section 130, sub 2 of the 1999 Constitution of this country as amended, you see, the president is referred to as the executive president. and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. You see, what that means is that the first and fundamental primary role of government is to secure its citizens. You see, they are the citizens and they are the leaders. As citizens, we have a duty to cry out, we have a duty to complain. But you see, one person who cannot complain is Mr. President, because he commands the armed forces, because he commands the tools, he commands the machineries. He's in charge of the entire country and has all it takes to arrest the situation. That's why we think that it begins with leadership.
Are you saying he hasn't done?
And so,
are you saying? Sorry, are you saying that he hasn't done enough, to tackle these challenges that you're talking about?
What we're saying as Nigerians is that from the current spate of killings in the country, from the recurring decimal of incessant killings in the country, that it is very obvious that it appears something is wrong. For instance, there are very clear examples to show. Mr. President went to Benue State and said clearly that he had instructed the Inspector General of Police to relocate to Benue and that he disobeyed those orders. And as Nigerians, we also waited quite patiently to see the actions that would be taken in that regard. And I tell you, my brother, we're still waiting. The waiting game is going on. And again, a few weeks after, worshippers were worshiping at the Catholic Church in Benue, and then this gunman brought them down. Not because the Reverend Father who died, one of them, had actually posted on Twitter that these herdsmen are still around. He virtually cried for help, called on the security agencies to come in, but that didn't happen.
Let me just hold you on for a bit. Let me come to you. I mean,